everyone, so today's video is going to be kind of like a winter makeup edit, that type of thing. I know edits just sound so pretentious, but I couldn't think of a better word to call it. Winter makeup favourites, maybe that'll be better. But I have got everything here apart from nail polish and lips, because I'm going to do that next week because I just had too many lip options that I wanted to talk to you about, and I thought it would just kind of make the video unnecessarily long, so we're not going to do that. But I'm going to start with base products, and this is just makeup, not skincare obviously, and I've got a few foundations here. The first one that I've got is the one that I'm wearing right now, and I really like this foundation. It's not kind of my favourite one for day to day, it's one that I'll wear when I need my makeup to kind of really stay put, and it's the Clarins Everlasting foundation. I have it in the shade Honey. I always find kind of with foundations I'm usually the shade Honey or Sand, that tends to be my colour, but this is what it looks like. And lovely packaging, comes with a little pump which I love, and Clarins foundations just smell so good. They have like a kind of fresh I wanted to say melon, and this is really really random, I'm just making myself laugh now. Those of you who have watched Don't Mess with the Zohan, it's like one of my favourite ever films. Like, I love Adam Sandler anyway, but I just love that film because the whole kind of Israel part in it I just think so just hilariously accurate and funny. And that drink he drinks in it is kiwi watermelon, and I wanted to say that this smells a bit like melon, and then it made me think of that. So yeah, I'm sure you're all super glad that I shared that little anecdote with you. But I love that one. Great coverage, kind of lasts nicely. Probably a medium coverage, it's not full coverage by any means. I'm wearing it today and you can see that you can kind of still see a little bit of my pigmentation, and I've got a weird little spot thing going on my chin as well. Then another one from Clarins, and this is also in, this doesn't say what the shade's called. Let me just compare the numbers. They're both 110, so oh yeah, they're both Honey. And this is the True Radiance foundation. This is a beautiful, beautiful foundation. The only thing is with this, it doesn't last as long if you have oily skin, which I do, but it's a very kind of pretty, radiant foundation for those days where you want your makeup to just look really glowy and effortless. This works beautifully. The packaging of it is stunning. Again, pump. Smells like watermelon and melons and kiwis or whatever, and it just kind of really makes your skin look lovely, but it is one that needs concealer underneath. You do really need to properly have some concealer with it. But then the two that are slightly heavier coverage, I would say, one is just an honorary mention, but I'll talk about the other one first. And I haven't used this winter yet, but I wanted to give it an honourable mention because I'm sure I will, because I loved it last winter, pretty much all I wore. And it's the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation from Tarte. The packaging of it is really filthy and skanky, and I need to clean that, so apologies. But this is in the shade Medium Honey. See, always honey. That's so weird, isn't it? And this is kind of like a mousse foundation. In fact, I'm going to take a little bit and just have a play on the back of my hands because I haven't used this for ages and I just wanted to see. Yeah, see, the shade just is, it's just my kind of shade. It's such a blendable foundation though. It just kind of blends into nothing. It's a mousse texture. The full coverage aspect, I personally don't believe any foundation that says it's full coverage because I rarely find them to be so. But it's very light, it blends into the skin nicely. It's just kind of like good skin in a tube if you do have a little bit of discoloration and you like a medium coverage. It is buildable. I usually use that with the Real Techniques buffing brush or the Sedona Lace kind of denser brush. But then I wanted to give this one an honourable mention. It's the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. I did a full review of this, which I will link down below, where I wasn't too impressed. I've since found a way to make it work where I like it, and that's to use a damp brush. So I kind of spritz my brush with some setting spray or kind of like toning spray, whatever. Evian spray works fine as well. And then apply it with this, and it just gives it a more dewy finish. And it is very long lasting, and it's one of those weird foundations that I think kind of actually looks better towards the end of the day. Not great at oil control at all, though you do need to keep sorting out your blotting situation, but that's okay for me. I tend to have to do that with most foundations. Then for bronzers and contouring and that type of thing, I haven't mentioned concealer because I don't tend to change those up during the winter. But for bronzer, I like to have a slightly lighter bronzer than I would in the summer and a slightly lighter contour. And the two bronzers that I like during this time of year are the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Powder in Sunny. This is such a kind of YouTube cult classic, isn't it? It's just really lovely. It's got no warm tones in it whatsoever. It's almost like a milky bronzer, which I really, really like. I love this. It's really a lovely product. The only thing is the packaging of it, I think, is a bit naff, but I can deal. And then the Bourjois Delice de Poudre bronzing powder, basically the Bourjois chocolate bronzer. This has got a little bit more warmth to it, and it's also got a tiny amount of shimmer in it, not too much though. Works really beautifully and smells like My Little Ponies. And then for contour, the contour I've been going for these last couple of days, now that my skin's a little bit paler, is the Maybelline Master Sculpt in light medium. I don't really like the highlighting shade in this palette. It's not really a palette, is it? Duo, shall we call it? But the bronzing, the contour shade's really nice. I'm wearing it as a contour today, not sure kind of how well you can see it. But I really like it. It's not powdery and it kind of gives just a little amount of definition without being too bronzy, because I don't like that really bronzed look in winter. I just find it looks really fake. Then in terms of blushes, I've got 3 here that are kind of my, well, 3 powder ones and a cream. Let me just fetch them. So the powder one, the first one is really inexpensive, and this is from Beauty UK, and it's their blush in Popsicle Pink. And I know this doesn't look like your classic winter shade, but there's something about this that's just really pretty, and it's got a little bit of a sheen in it, so I wear it on days where I don't want to put any highlighter on and just do a little bit of a dusting, and it's kind of got almost a silveriness to it, so it's nice if you're wearing a pink lip because it's quite cool toned. And then the other one is one that I've mentioned a million times and that I love, and it's the Avon blush in Soft Plum. I just think this is such a pretty colour. I know it's not the most exciting, it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but nothing major. And it's just such a lovely, lovely, easy to wear colour. It's not exciting, but it's just flattering. And I love Avon's packaging as well. I think it's very Chanel-esque. And then, last but not least, we have this one from NARS, and this is Outlaw. And this is similar to the Avon one in that it also has a little bit of a gold sheen in it, but it's more of a kind of deeper berry tone, I would say. It's a little bit redder almost than the Avon one, but really, really pretty. A little bit shimmery, more one that you have to be careful with the pigment of it because it is more pigmented, but definitely a lovely one. And then this is one that I wear when I kind of want a nice cream product. I don't need my makeup to last all day and I just want something easy. And it's the Clinique Chubby Stick Cheek Contour Balm in, I think this is called like Roly Poly Rosy. And it looks like this. I will give you a little swatch actually. Obviously you wouldn't wear it that bright, but it's kind of almost like a pomegranate shade, really, really flattering on the cheeks and just works really nicely if you're wearing kind of like a berry lip. I find it looks really pretty with MAC's Viva Glam Cindy, which is one of my favourite winter shades. It works really nicely for that. And then highlighters. I've got some kind of, I like wearing highlighter more so in the winter than in the summer. I just find kind of your face needs that little bit of a glow. And I've got a cream option and a powder option. My cream option is also from Clinique, and it's the Clinique Chubby Stick Sculpting Highlight in Hefty Highlight. And this is really, really pretty. You do have to be careful with how you apply this because I find it can kind of be a little, it can kind of disrupt the makeup you put on underneath it. But I'll put a little swatch here for you. Again, obviously you wouldn't wear it this strongly. Well, you could, but it would be kind of major strobing. Don't know, is it even showing up? Not really, you can sort of see it, can't you? But the light's washing it out a little. But it's really pretty to just dot on the tops of your cheekbones kind of thing. I like to do it with my fingers. And just draw some on, blend it in. Works really nicely. And then the powder option. This is a product that I have used since I've got it pretty much all the time, and I don't talk about it often enough, and that's not fair. And it's the Makeup Revolution Radiance palette. And the shades in here, I don't use the kind of last more bronzy one, But this one and this one get so much love from me. I use them on not a duo fibre brush, a fan brush. Just on the tops of my cheekbones, not sure if you can see, but just a small dusting, and it just helps to kind of give your face that lit from within glow, which I really, really like. And then we have eyeshadows. I do tend to like more makeup kind of on eyes and lips during the winter. I just think it looks really chic and wintry, whereas in the summer I like more of a clean eye and a bright lip. This is a great kind of little everyday option, and it is from Eyes of Ours, and it's the matte sultry, but matte spelled with 2 A's. And again, these shades don't look like they're the most exciting shades in the world, I know, and I've just dropped the brush. But they're such wearable shades. They just look really, really pretty on, and just really easy to work with. Great to kind of smoke things up or just have a nice defined eye, which I really like. And then this is the palette I'm wearing today, and this is the palette that I think I might take away with me when I go to my mum's for Christmas. It's got all the types of shades that you would need, although I would prefer it to have a few more matte shades if I'm being honest. And it's the Too Faced Natural Eye palette, and I don't wear this as often as I should, and the colours in here are so gorgeous. Just really, really pretty. I'm wearing that one, and then that one smudged along my upper lash line today, and I really like it. I like the kind of smudgy upper lash line look on me. I think it's more flattering than when I wear liquid liner because of the shape of my eyes. But I love the quality of Too Faced shadows. In this palette, I do have another Too Faced shadow where I used a purple eyeshadow from it a few days ago. And I had to actually take my makeup off and put it on again. It was that horrible, the quality of it. It blended so patchy, it was really weird, and I never do that. I can usually sort of salvage it, and I couldn't. But this palette is a really great kind of wintry one. And then I just wanted to give an honourable mention to a few of the palettes from my MAC palette, a few of the shades from my MAC palette that do get a lot of use during winter because I love them. And the two that I want to tell you about are Antiqued and Sable. So this is Antiqued. It's just a lovely reddy brown, and this is Sable, which is also a reddy brown but not so warm. Beautiful. Just two beautiful shades. Antiqued I'll wear all over the lid and just really, really blend it in, and it's got that kind of autumnal, almost coppery orangeness to it, which if you've got kind of brown eyes, mine are kind of brown, sometimes they can look a teensy weensy bit green. This helps bring out the green in them. And Sable also is just a stunning colour, flattering on everyone, and they're two shades that I always bring out this time of year because they just look really, really pretty. And Antique looks really pretty if you wear it with like a berry lip as well. I love that combo. So that's everything. Those are all my picks for winter makeup. I will share with you my lips and tips, get what I did there, favourites next time. I'll tell you what my nail polish is though, in case any of you are wondering. You can see it there. This is Essie's Sexy Divide, and it's such a cool colour. It's really unusual and I really like it. But yeah, I will love you and leave you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and check in next week for my favourite lip products. I have lots of them. Bye.